What is the number one thing that I do as a coach that helps my clients build confidence? My name's Carrie. I'm a motivational speaker and executive coach, and I specialize in burnout prevention and imposter syndrome for helping my clients build confidence in themselves. Like a lot of people, I enjoy receiving feedback, especially if it's positive, about my coaching performance and the work that I do with my clients. But one of my favorite pieces of feedback is something that validates that my approach that I take to my coaching is actually being noticed and is working. Now, I receive a couple of pieces of information that people tell me help them the most in our coaching sessions, but there is one thing that I've identified is genuinely the best thing that I can offer to my clients to help them build confidence. So what is that thing? I provide them with support and encouragement to be themselves. Now, that might sound like a cop-out to you, but it's genuinely the approach that I take with my clients. I'm always challenging them when they say, well, I was going to do it like this, and then I thought maybe I should do it a different way. And I challenge them as to what makes them think they need to do it differently. And I encourage them to tap into themselves, to figure out who they are. How would they be authentic in this situation? And then we play out how that would work versus when they're trying to be something they're not. So the thing that I've found throughout my career is that burnout and imposter syndrome are directly related to experiencing trauma, specifically oppressive, abusive, cyclic, systemic issues, trauma that people wouldn't even necessarily recognize as trauma. But what I've found when it comes to a lack of confidence is usually comes from experiencing a lifetime of having people tell you, no, you're not good enough, you're not right, you don't look the right way. And we get resources that tell us, here's how to be successful. And they point to people that they think are being successful and then create the guidelines based off of those people. So for instance, if somebody's saying, hey, you want to be a CEO, let's have a look at the existing list of CEOs and then tell you what they did to be successful and how you can copy them, how you can turn yourself into them. And it sends this message that however you were going to do it, however you are as a person isn't going to work. And that's the message that we've been getting for decades, if not centuries, is that there is one way to do it. And we all need to turn ourselves into that. And that's the systemic approach. And of course, we have like our individual childhoods and the ways that we were grown up and not having support and encouragement from our parents or our caretakers or our siblings or our friends. And that can really have an impact on our self-confidence. And so what I do is I help people tap into their uniqueness to say, okay, what is it that you bring to the table? What is it that you have that nobody else has? How would you handle this without the influence of the world telling you how you think you should handle this? And then I truly just encourage them and help them see how their authentic self in that situation can lead to a good and positive outcome that they hadn't seen before. And once they start saying, wait a minute, I can do this as myself, wow, this could work. I didn't realize that. And they will actually say to me, I didn't think that I could just do it this way. I didn't think that was right. I didn't think that would work. And so genuinely having support and encouragement for somebody to help them see, here's your uniqueness. Here's what you bring to the table that nobody else does. You know, we've seen it this way a dozen times before. And if it worked, if it truly worked, then you would not be here doubting yourself, because the qualities of a good leader is not somebody who's going to make other people doubt themselves. It's not somebody who's going to say, you're doing it wrong, you need to do it like me. That's not the quality of a good leader. Quality of a good leader is someone who is going to support and encourage and uplift their people to be themselves, right? We all are supposed to fill in gaps for each other. And so if our current leadership structure was working, where we were saying, this is how you be successful, you all need to be like this, then we wouldn't have a world filled with people who have self-doubt, who have imposter syndrome, who aren't sure that they can show up the way that they want to. And so by supporting and encouraging them and helping them figure out sometimes who they are, what their qualities are, what is unique about them, how to see those things as strengths, and how to use those strengths and apply them. That is the number one thing that I do as a coach. to help my clients. So if you are looking to grow your self-confidence, whether you get a coach, a mentor, or just friends, you absolutely need to find people who are going to support you and encourage you, who are going to say, yes, you've got this. That's amazing. Who are going to challenge you when they recognize that you're not being true to yourself and say, why the hell are you doing it like that? So get yourself a good supportive community. They are challenging to find. So that's where a coach can be helpful because then that's our job, is to help people do that, to tap into themselves and to support and encourage that. But absolutely, if you want to build confidence, you have to surround yourself with people who are going to support and encourage you to be yourself. Because if you have people who are constantly judging you, who are telling you that you're not right, that you're doing it wrong, that you don't look right, you don't talk right, you don't act right, you don't dress right, you're never going to grow that self-confidence. So surround yourself with people who support and encourage you, and then also support and encourage yourself. If you are having negative self-talk, that's just as damaging as if somebody else is saying it to you. So genuinely filling your life with yeses, with encouragement, with you've got this, with I can do this my way. I can be me and still have this work. I can be me and have this work in a way that other people didn't know was possible. That's what you need to focus on if you want to grow your self-confidence. If you liked what you heard here today, hit subscribe so you don't miss a message. And if you're curious to learn more about what I do with burnout, head over to carriezcoaching.com and take my free quiz to find your burnout archetype.